major Buccaneer injury updates have come in, specifically updates on some players that were very notable from Monday night's win against the Texans. Some players that, the Buccaneers will be without for either a long time or a short time. Buccaneers stacking up on the injury report lately, but we're still looking to keep stacking the wins as well. I'm Sebastian from Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. Not the most joyful news to talk about, but it is news. It is something that we do need to discuss, just regarding how the Bucs are going to move forward in the future, and just how we're going to be dealing with these injuries and what it means for the games upcoming very soon. But first thing we want to do is subscribe, because 95% of viewers aren't even subscribed. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers, and we're going to keep going from there. The live watch-alongs were really, really successful. They were a ton of fun, heart-pounding finishes, but fun nonetheless. And we just got to keep it rolling here. I'm loving the community that we're building and all the discussions that we're having. I'm just really loving it all. But let's get into it, because while it's not fun to talk about, it is important. So first things up, Calijah Kancey was confirmed to miss the entire season because of his pectoral injury that he suffered against the Texans. He went out pretty early on in the first half of the game. And it's a major blow. It is actually a major blow. Bailey Adams from Pewter Report had to say that it's a brutal blow for both Calijah Kancey and the Buccaneers defense. Kancey came into the 2025 season feeling like the injury issues were fully behind him after a calf issue cost him the early parts of both his rookie season in 2023 and his second season in 2024. In his absence, the Buccaneers will likely have to roll with a team effort to replace him. Fourth-year defensive tackle Logan Hall will have to step up, as will rookie Elijah Roberts, who earned a half sack in Monday's win. Veteran Greg Gaines may see some time in Kancey's role as well. He had a strong showing against the Texans, racking up a few pressures as well as his first sack of the season. In the end, it's not what you want to see when it comes to Kancey. It's really unfortunate, because it felt like he was still developing. And like they mentioned in the Pewter Report, is that it felt like he had just gotten over this hump of getting over these injuries, that he felt fully healthy going into this year. And to have this much of a big injury, this kind of a setback, it can be pretty demoralizing, both to the team and to the player. Now, the Buccaneers have Vita Vea still, and crossing fingers, nothing happens to him, knocking on wood, all that good stuff. But at the same time, this was his right-hand man. Calijah and Vita were a great duo, and they were getting sacks quite a bit last year. So it is unfortunate. It's a blow to our run defense, even though they still did a really good job against the Texans Monday night, even without Calijah. But it's just, the less deep you are, the more vulnerable you become. And so when it comes to Calijah, it's going to be about who can step into that role and be Vita's right-hand man now. Like they said, it's probably going to be a rotation of guys rather than just one man specifically stepping up. But they mentioned, as they mentioned, Elijah Roberts, our rookie, he's going to have to step up. He was our fifth-round pick, and he is going to need to really be a guy that the Bucs can rely on a bit more than they were expecting, maybe going into this season. But yeah, just these injuries stacking up, season-ending injuries. I mean, we had David Walker, our fourth-round pick. He had a season-ending injury. J.J. Roberts, a really up-and-coming rookie safety for us. He was looking really good, and then until he got a season-ending injury. And then Calijah Kancey, another big name for the Buccaneers. It goes down. We will be without him for the rest of the year. And it's unfortunate, because he was in his third season. He's going to have to be kind of in a prove-it year next year, and kind of fight for that fifth-year extension, or fifth-year option, I should say, because he was a first-round pick. But Calijah, great team guy. He has great energy. He had great camaraderie with Yaya Diaby. But Yaya, he seems to be a good teammate to all the players on the defense and just the team in general. And so anyway, it's really going to be about who steps up. It was really surprising to see Greg Gaines get a sack in the game. I mean, obviously the offensive line for the Texans was injured, but at the same time, he's probably not going to get the production that Kancey did. Kancey was really kind of all over the field. He had some really, really good technique and fundamentals when it comes to just rushing the passer or blocking the run. He wasn't the biggest guy. That was his biggest criticism, is that his him being undersized would be his biggest detriment, but he was overcoming that for the most part. It was just the injuries were also kind of lingering, and it's just, it's really upsetting both for Kancey, the team, and the fans, that right after they get over that hump, now we're kind of back to square one in a bit, where he's going to have to really work on. I mean, the upper body, that's a huge part of a defensive tackle's game. So we wish all the best to him, and we hope that when he comes back, he's back to himself, and he doesn't allow this to completely derail his career. I don't think it should. I don't think it will. It's just one of those things that you can't help but feel like when there's an injury riddled player, that sometimes that can affect their mental status, which we hope is not the case, because we know that Kancey is a strong-willed person and a very great player for the Buccaneers. So we'll miss him while he's gone, but we hope he gets better, and we'll just look forward to seeing his recovery going well, hopefully. And in the other news, Jeremy Fowler had to report that the Bucs right tackle Luke Goedeke, he avoided major injury Monday night, but is expected to miss time, possibly multiple weeks per sources. The belief is that Goedeke re-aggravated a foot injury he battled during the practice week. So that was the other piece of this, is Goedeke was, fighting some injury. He missed a couple practices while getting ready for the Texans game, and then he practiced one day. I think it was Saturday, and then they said that he seemed like he was ready to play because he started the game, and then he re-aggravated the injury, and he was out for most of the game. And yet the Bucs still managed to win without Tristan Wirfs and without Goedeke. Goedeke, who just signed an extension with the Buccaneers, so it's going to be really about trying not to hurt him again. A lot of these injuries that we're trying to maintain are about not re-aggravating, trusting, that the players, that we have their best interests in mind. The Bucs are very good with communication in that sense. So it's just one of those things that they have to be wary about. Joshua Okwepo from Pewter Report had to say, Wirfs himself has maintained that Week 5 is his target date to return to the lineup, but he practiced for the first time on a limited basis last Thursday. He must have felt good the day after, because he was also able to practice Friday as well. If he can't go, Heck is likely the right tackle in for Goedeke, while the Bucs continue to roll out their shuffled lineup from center to left tackle. But perhaps they look to change things up once again with both tackles down. Rookie Ben Shukuma had a brilliant preseason, and the team may want to strengthen their interior for quarterback Baker Mayfield while taking an adamantly high risk on the rookie. I also agree in this case that while Goedeke is out for however many weeks that is, it's not the worst thing in the world to maybe. I never want to underestimate a team. I know we have the Jets coming up. They have a back. I mean, it was just announced today that they're going to be putting in Tyrod Taylor, because Justin Fields is dealing with concussion protocol right now. But the Bucs have a weakness against backup quarterbacks, or a curse, as many Bucs fans like to say. It's just one of those things. Like, we don't really want to play with fire here and take too many chances, but at the same time, it's the Jets defense has a good pass rush as well, and we're very limited. My guess is Wirfs won't play in this game. We still play it safe there, and then we save him for the Eagles game is my expectation. But who knows? Anything could happen. But in the meantime, I like the idea of getting Ben Shukuma on at least available to see. Listen, if the Heck thing isn't working out during the game, the Jets game, we put in Ben and see if he can do anything better in that sense. And it's hard throwing him into a game like that, but at the same time, when the offensive line is facing this many injuries right now, it's you have to get a little desperate, you have to get a little tricky, you have to get a little fancy, and the Bucs have been doing that with the reshuffling, Bredesen being at center and Barton being at left tackle. And so it's just one of those things that we kind of have to roll with the punches a little bit. And this is just kind of a very precarious time. We are very fortunate to be 2-0, though, so vibes are high in that sense, because it was a very impressive drive at the end of the game against the Texans to get that go-ahead touchdown to basically win the game on a really injured offensive line. And it's just, Baker Mayfield doing some heroics and all that good stuff. We're probably going to need that again. Unfortunately, we are at home this upcoming week finally. We'll be wearing the gorgeous white creamsicle uniforms. And I'm expecting good things still. The play calling has been strong. The skill players have been playing really well. we have a whole game, a whole week, sorry, to basically prepare for doing a lot of quick plays. And the Jets defense will be ready for it. They'll be expecting it, but at the same time, it's just one of those things that, okay, if our offensive line isn't going to hold up, we got to get tricky with it. We got to get fancy. We got to do something that will really catch the Jets off guard. So I feel like the Bucs have a good chance to win this game, but it is going to be one in the trenches. Once again, just like, when you face a good defense, that's typically how these things go. And so I want to ask you guys right now, with these two trench players going down for the Buccaneers, one out for the season with Kancey and then one out for at least a few weeks. We don't really know how many weeks. What do you think is the biggest loss from the Buccaneers? What do you think is going to be the hardest hole to plug for the Buccaneers? And what do you expect them to do on the offensive line this upcoming week? What kind of shuffling do you expect? Do you think, we talked about it. Heck seems like he's practicing to start at right tackle in absence of Goedeke this week. But at the same time, Chikuma is right there, ready to go. He made the 53-man roster, so they don't even have to elevate him from the practice squad. He's just ready to go if they need him. It's obviously they're just concerned because he doesn't have any real-time reps, but no time like the present. It's kind of weird to say, but when you are at 2-0 facing a team that is struggling, to say the least, they are 0-2, and they just got blown out by a division rival, by the Bills. They played well, obviously, against the Steelers, but that was with a Justin Fields performance, who won't be playing against the Buccaneers this week. There's a lot of things working in the favor for the Buccaneers as there are against us. But vibes are running high. Everyone in the building feels confident. And that has to mean something. When you have a good culture, people believe in each other and support each other, there's no drama. People, aren't pointing fingers for any reason. Everyone's accountable. This is all leading to winning culture, and just it's good for everybody. And so I just, again, I want to ask you guys, what do you think is going to happen? What do you expect maybe is going to be the answer to these problems? And also just make sure in the comments to wish these guys well in their recovery process, especially Calijah Kancey, who will be out for the season. But yeah, just let me know what your thoughts down below, and make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get to 2,000 and keep building from there. I'm really excited, but but the NFL season is in full swing right now. Bucs are at the top of the NFC South. And, things are, despite all these problems, despite all the adversity, championship teams find a way to rise above these challenges. And I think the Buccaneers have the attitude and the wherewithal to make it work. So until then, until there's more updates on everything else, I will see you guys in the next video.